Hi everyone, welcome to Have You Heard? And today we are listening to The Who, and we're listening to Had Enough from their 1978 album, Who Are You? Now, of course, this was a huge album, particularly if you think about the title track, because that just exploded. And of course, with CSI, many years later, it became so well known over again. But of course, this was the final album that featured Keith Moon. Just 3 weeks after it was released, Keith died. And it's really, really quite eerie to see on the back of the chair that he's sitting on the album cover, it says, "Not to be taken away." How eerie is that? This is a fascinating album. The song is written by John Entwistle. He wrote 2 or 3 of these songs and they are very good. But his and particularly Pete Townshend's songs on this album are probably the most intricate of all the Who songs that were ever written. And it kind of divided critics a little bit, although it sold particularly well and got to number 6 in the UK and number 2 in the States. It will always be remembered as Keith Moon's last album, and it was not without problems. And Keith was certainly having major problems at this time. We'll talk about it all after we play the song. Let's listen to the song first of all and enjoy it. There is so much to talk about here. I did some research. Some of it I knew beforehand. A lot of it I only found out in my research, and it's quite fascinating. But anyway, you know I like my history. Let's listen to the song. Released on the 18th of August 1978. This was their 8th studio album. Very poignant. But here we go. Had Enough, written by John Entwistle for The Who. Here we go. Yeah, sorry about the bleed over into 905, another John Entwistle song, almost completely synthesized. And I almost chose that. Maybe we'll do that another day. I should have said at the beginning, this has had enough, and it has had no reactions on YouTube. It must not be confused with I've Had Enough, which of course is a track on Quadrophenia, which has received about 5 or 6 reactions, probably because it's Quadrophenia. I lost my copy of Quadrophenia. I don't know where it's gone. I must do something about that. Uh, Gosh, this particular album is, well, it is very important because, of course, it's Keith's last album. However, he had lots of difficulties with the album and with playing on the album. Um, the alcohol, particularly, had really started creating huge problems. And the rest of the band thought that it had knocked his confidence. He wasn't the charismatic, confident drummer that he used to be. And Glyn Johns and John Astley, the two co-producers, who we'll talk about more later on, they had real problems getting him to play what they considered to be what should be played, which never happened before. I mean, Keith would just get in and just bash everything, and it would just sound brilliant because it was Keith Moon. But those days had gone. And in fact, on one of the tracks, Music Must Change, he just couldn't get the timing right at all. And they had to wipe all of his attempts, if you like. And eventually they got in a session musician who nobody knows who that is. I can't find out who it was who played on that particular track. And 3 weeks after the album eventually came out, he had died. Very sad. Glyn Johns and John Astley were the co-producers. Now, John Astley was Pete Townshend's brother-in-law at the time. And there's a whole big web of family stuff going on in this particular production. You've got John Astley co-producing, Pete's brother-in-law. The string arrangements were all composed and arranged by Ted Astley, who was John's father and Pete's father-in-law. And Ted Astley was a hugely well-known arranger, composer of TV themes and TV music, particularly in the 60s in the UK. All the big weekly spy shows and drama shows all seemed to have music composed by Ted Astley. So he was very experienced and very respected. However, on when he tried to present an arrangement to the band and to Glyn Johns for this particular track, and you can hear the strings, whether it's this arrangement or not, I'm not sure. But when he presented the arrangement, Roger Daltrey did not like it. He said it was too slushy. And he and Glyn Johns got into a fight over whether they should use it or not. And in the end, Roger, being Roger, just punched Glyn Johns in the face, knocking him unconscious. Who knows whether he won the day or whether something else had to be done. I'm really not sure. But such was the Who. They loved to have a fight. And Roger Daltrey wasn't the biggest guy in the world, but my goodness me, he liked to fight. Oh, wow. Their keyboard player was John Bundrick, their session player. Rabbit, of course, known as Rabbit Bundrick, who, of course, used to play with Free. And when Free split up, of course, he made an album with Paul Kossoff and Simon Kirke, uh, Kossoff Kirk Tetsu, who was the Japanese bass player, and Rabbit. And he became kind of like a career long session player for the Who and would play on all of their gigs and tours and whatever. But um, he either cut or broke his arm trying to, well, drunkenly falling out of a taxi, of trying to avoid paying the taxi fare. So he couldn't play. So they got in Rod Argent from Argent to play synthesizer on this particular track. So we've got an all-star cast here. We've got Rod Argent. On backing vocals, we've got Andy Fairweather Lowe, who was the lead singer with Amen Corner in the 60s, a huge pop band in the UK, loads and loads of top 10 hits. But he was also a guitarist, and he soon after, I think, yeah, a couple of years after, when Roger Waters left Pink Floyd and started touring by himself, Andy Fairweather Lowe was his first choice guitarist. So another little bit of rock royalty there. So interesting stuff. Now going back to John Astley, the co-producer, who eventually wound up finishing off the whole album because Glyn Johns had to leave because he'd committed to do a Joan Armour Trading album, To the Limit. John Astley, in the 80s, as well as producing, and he became quite a well-known remixer of albums, he started his own solo career in the 80s, and I've got one of his albums called The Complete Angler, which is the lost classic synth pop album of the 80s. And I'm going to play a track one day on the channel. It will probably get about 5 views, but it is absolutely brilliant. Um, he was such a clever man, John Astley, and if only, I mean, his career could have been totally different. Um, and then his younger brother is Rick Astley. Now, UK pop fans and rock fans will know Rick Astley straight away because he's an angelic young man with a remarkably strong voice who had a lot of hits in the 80s, pop hits in the 80s, with middle of the road pop songs. Um, but he has kind of an enduring quality that won't go away. And to this day, he rocks up at Glastonbury, all the major festivals, and all of the cool bands and famous players invite him up on stage to sing with them. He's he's an amazing singer. So this whole Astley family, intertwined with the Townsend family, makes for quite a story. Anyway, what did you think of the song? This is a John Entwistle song. There are strings. There's brass because John likes to play his brass instruments on his tracks. Uh, Roger's doing the vocals, of course, this time, and really trying to tell everyone that he's bloody well had enough. Maybe he was still fed up with the with the string arrangement. I don't know. Um, and then you've got Pete's guitar chords, of course. This particular song's reasonably straightforward, so Keith managed to get through it okay. And it's such a shame to have to say things like that, isn't it? For probably the most unique and innovative drummer that there's ever been. Um, he's quoted, he was quoted during the recording of this album when one of the guys, one of the producers was saying, can't you do this? What's going on? He said, I am the greatest drummer, the greatest Keith Moon type drummer. It just had to qualify himself a little bit. Um, such a shame. Uh, but there you are. A little bit of music died when Keith Moon died, I'm afraid. The world was never quite the same afterwards. And I mean, growing up with the Beatles from 1962, I grew up with The Who as well. And the 60s was just, well, it was the Beatles, the Stones, and The Who. Those were the big three. And the singles, the early albums, this band were just so different from everybody else. They did their own thing. They had loads of fights and scraps along the way, but they stayed together until death do us part, really. No matter what was going wrong, they stuck together. And what a collection of musicians. I get quite nostalgic and a little bit sentimental when I think of the Who. I really do. But there we are. Let me read your comments, please, in the comments section about the Who. What do you think? We've only done one song, I think, on the channel, haven't we? We've done From Live at Leeds. Um, yeah, which is the greatest live album ever. I won't listen to anybody else on that. Dear me, what am I talking about today? I'm really opening my soul and vulnerable to all kinds of comebacks, but I'll stand by it. Uh, Let me know in the comments what you think, and please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. I have rambled on for quite a lot, but what did you think of the music, and what are your favourite Who songs? What are your favourite Who albums? What were your favourite Who moments? There are so many. Thanks very much for watching today. Don't forget we have a Patreon channel. We have Buy Me a Coffee where you can request a song for us all to hear in the community. We've started that ball rolling already with a great request a couple of days ago. So have a look at that. It was Horslips live, and they were brilliant. So think that through. In the meantime, it was great seeing you today. Have a great day, and I do look forward to seeing you tomorrow on our next video, because we do one every day. Cheers, everybody.